Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Um,
Good,
I'm
yeah.
actually tired. I've literally just done nothing all morning for once, which is nice.
You're working later, innit?
Yeah, it's,
Evening.
yeah, evening things. I got a weekend off, so it's fine.
Oh, that's good. What are you doing for this weekend?
I went to Salford Pride,
Where is
which is
that?
like just so Salford is like a.
Yeah,
Do
Manchester.
you know how you like? Yeah, it's in Manchester. It's part of Manchester, but it's like a different bit. You know how like London has like Lewisham,
Listen,
Peckham, and what are you laughing?
got Peckham
It's
Pride.
like Peckham Pride. Can you imagine if every borough in
Had a pride.
London had a pride? That'd be crazy.
And yeah,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rated Podcast. It's a podcast where we speak about things music and popular culture. And I'm Ollie Wade.
and I'm Carl CNN.
And today, the day finally has come. Well, the day came last Friday, but the day has come where we're actually talking about Normani's debut album. Like, listeners of this podcast know that we've discussed Normani many a time. We've done like 4 episodes on her, so we've been waiting for this album for like, I was actually 6 years now since she became solo. I think 6 years, and I think like 4 years because Motivation came out 4 years ago. I think so. It's been 4 years since we've been waiting for the debut album, and it's finally here, and it's called Dopamine. So we're just gonna give you some thoughts on the album as a whole, and then give you our like favorite tracks and stuff. So, do you want to kick it off? What are your first initial thoughts of the album?
Good question. So, I thought it started off strong, I think. In terms of like a first single, what's the first song? Big Boys.
Big boys don't want it big.
Yeah.
Yeah, big boy.
Yeah, so I feel like it started off as like in a strong way, I would say. Like I feel like it's not the usual like I don't know, like I feel like the first song on the album should be like a strong starter. And I feel like it kicked off like in a decent way. Like I didn't really expect it from her. I didn't really know what to expect from the album, to be honest with you. So yeah, so I liked that. And I feel like she stuck to so I feel like she wants to be an R&B girl, which is fine. So I feel like it was a contemporary R&B, like kind of mid tempo to like kind of maybe mid tempo mostly, I guess, like album. Everything was kind of like slow. So I thought it was cohesive in that sense. But yeah, I don't want to get into it like tear it apart like from now, but I want to talk about my favorite songs, I guess, at least, and then I'll maybe get into that. But I thought for first effort, it wasn't actually bad. Obviously, we anticipated I wanted a bit more. So yeah, what did you think from the first listen?
On my first listen, I think maybe I had my hater cap on because I just
Hate
thought like for me it was in my head. I just kept thinking we've been waiting 6 years for this, and then it kind of just fell a bit flat for me on my first listen anyway.
Mm,
Um, but since I've listened like a couple more times now, like through fresh ears, and I think I wouldn't say like it's like one of my favorite albums ever, but I do think it's like you said, I think it is a solid effort. I just think a lot of people, myself included, just maybe expected a bit more from Normani because the hype around has been high since she's like ever came out. Like since she came out, became solo, the hype around her has been like high, and I feel like because we waited so long, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I expected a little bit more. Because there's some bits of the album we'll get into it in a minute, but some bits of the album I think were just a bit too generic for me. Um,
hmm
so yeah, but yeah, first listen, I think it was all right. Like you said, the Big Boy song for me, I think the Big Boy song sounded like it sounded like it was still the demo. When I
Oh,
first listened to it, do you
mm,
think if it sounds like kind of demo-y, like it's not really like um
complete.
complete, but
Mm,
it's catchy. I would say it's catchy, and it's like a different way to start the album. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, initial,
it gives me interlude potential, like
yeah,
opening
yeah, that's true
interlude as well.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
at least said
yeah.
that.
So let's get into our favorite songs, then we can go into like what the album gives. What are your top songs?
Um, I liked a few. So I liked Insomnia. I thought like the lyrics were cool in terms of like when she was talking about like somebody calling her and then like obviously they're speaking to them like keeps her up kind of thing. Um, I think Can You Paint upon listening to the whole album is actually a highlight of the project now that I've heard the whole thing. One of my criticisms, whilst I'm talking about that, is just that I feel like in terms of an R&B project, there was no like um build up to anything on the album, like the songs. I feel like they kind of didn't really go anywhere. Like there was no climaxes except for like on like maybe Wild Side, which has that bit in the middle or towards the end anyway, after Cardi's rap. Um, I actually like 159 and as it fits in with the rest of the album. And I kind of see why she put it out, I guess. I still wish it had a bridge, but I kind of like it a bit more now I've had the rest of the album. I liked Distance. I think that's one of my favorite songs. I was listening to it and I was thinking to myself, I swear I can hear Seven Streeter on this. And then I decided to look at the songwriting credits, and she's literally one of the songwriters on the song. So I was like, I swear I could hear her voice. But if I couldn't hear her voice, it was just the style of the vocal performance that was just very similar to Seven. It gave me like very melodramatic R&B ballad, which I liked. And surprisingly, Tantrums was one of my faves. I don't like James Blake, I'm not gonna lie. He's on Beyonce's Forward on Lemonade, and I hate that song with a passion. It makes my skin itch when I hear that the noises and the instrumentals. Ugh. But this song I actually liked. I thought the beat was haunting, and I actually enjoyed their like sort of way that they when he came in, the beat kind of stripped back a little bit to suit his voice, and then when she was singing, it was more of a beat and more of a rhythm to it. So yeah, so those are my favorite songs. So Insomnia, Candy Paint. I thought Grip was a cool song, but it sounded like a slow version of Candy Paint. But hey ho. 159, Distance, and Tantrums are my faves. What about you?
I think I think our choice in songs highlights the difference in her fan bases, which I think is the biggest problem. Like I've said
Yeah.
before, I think her her fans that want her to be a pop girl, and then her fans that want her to be an R&B girl. So
Hmm.
anyway, let me get into it. So my favorite, my absolute favorite song on the album is "All Yours." It
Mm.
just takes me there. And then I started to like Still a little bit more now. Keep listening to Still, and then I like Take My Time because I think Take My Time it sounds like summer, and it's like the perfect song for like Pride season, I would say. Um,
Take
and
my time.
also, so yeah, Take My Time, Candy Paint. So my friend Reese like pointed out that Candy Paint sounds different on the album than the one that she released before. I think this one's a bit more mastered because it sounds a bit more like crisp
Yeah.
now. Like you said, I think it's definitely like it sounds so much better on the album. So I definitely think it's one of the highlights of the album. Because
Hmm.
when she released it before she released the album, I was kind of not feeling it. I was like, oh, it's a bit mediocre. But on the album,
Mm.
I actually think it goes really really well. And I still think it should have been the lead single, if I'm honest. But
Hmm.
yeah, and then I like Little Secrets, and then
Mm.
that's about it. I think Insomnia. I like the end bit of Insomnia. You know, like it's like the little guitar like rock kind of bit
Yeah.
at the end. I like that bit on Insomnia, but I don't. The rest of the song is a bit too slow for me. Also, she
Mm.
teased that Brandy's gonna be in the album, and she's literally in the background of Insomnia. I was
Yeah,
like,
she's in the background. Yeah, the vocals. I didn't. It wasn't really like the collaboration. I guess everyone anticipated. We thought it was gonna be like a feature, like we're getting with Ariana and Monica and Brandy on the Boys Mind remix. So yeah, but this was just like vocal stacking and background vocals, which is still a huge feat for somebody to work with. Probably somebody that they consider like an icon or something they've looked up to. But at the same time, yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, so this is it. We were expecting like a whole verse maybe from Brandy or something, So
yeah.
yeah,
I just think like it's just a bit I don't know. I just feel like some of the songs are just a bit too slow and like generic for me. R&B. Like I mean, you liked Grit, but I just feel like
yeah,
that was a bit too just. It just sounded like I think my problem with Normani is her songs. They sound
mm,
like her songs sometimes sound like anyone can sing them. Do you know
There's
what I
no like
mean? Like
distinctness
yeah,
about, you know.
distinctiveness. Also, someone said on Instagram that they don't want Normani. They don't want to hear Normani sing. They just want to see her perform.
Oh, you know
So I
what
feel
it
like
is?
those.
Like, yeah, I think she does need a standout hit. So I think I now upon reflection on what you were saying in terms of like things like motivation and stuff, she does need like a sort of upbeat R&B pop hit that I think, or that's the lane she should try and go in because I think that will give her some sort of like a standout signature song. Because I think when you think of certain artists, you think of their music and you think, I can't imagine someone singing this song by Sierra. I can't imagine someone
Mm,
singing Goodies. I can't imagine someone singing. Dangerously in Love, Crazy in Love. I can't imagine someone singing Diamonds. I can't imagine someone singing What's My Name and not sound like a knockoff version. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's something that needs to be discovered with her. I think they're right. There's no distinct sound, so she kind of falls into the background of like all the other artists.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same with. It's kind of the same with. You said this before about flow.
Mm,
They don't have that like, even though they can sing, like they can hum, like their voices are amazing, but I
hmm
feel like their songs kind of fall into the thing of like anyone can sing them. Like if you hear them on the radio, you're not gonna instantly be like, "Oh my god, that's Flo," or "Oh my god, that's Normani." Like if you don't know who Normani is or Flo is, you're gonna just be like, "Oh, that's a nice song." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but who is this person singing? Yeah, and also with them as well, like you can't. I think the same issue was with Normani in the group. Maybe sometimes when she was singing, you might not be able to tell if it was her or Dina maybe singing. And then with Flo as well, I can't really. I think I can identify when it is Stella singing, maybe now because
Mm,
I listen out for her vocals a bit more. But when you have a group as well, it's difficult when you can't tell who's who. Like obviously, we've had years of like groups like Destiny's Child, so like we obviously know as soon as Kelly starts singing or Beyonce or Michelle starts singing, you just know. But yeah, it's that same. There's no. They need signature sounds. They need their own signature sounds that work for
yeah,
them. You know what I mean? Like Sierra had Crunk and B. Rihanna had like the twang when it comes to like the island accent, and then Beyonce has had the kind of go-go sound that she was doing a lot with like Crazy in Love and Green Light and other songs. So something like that they can do for a little bit until they're kind of established, I guess, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, I heard that All Yours is gonna be the next single, which
That's like your
I'm
favorite
literally
song though, isn't it?
that's literally my favorite song. So yeah, I'm happy for
Yeah.
that. But I still think we need. I don't understand why she's announcing a new single when we don't even have visuals for like Candy Paint and
You
One
don't have
Time
a
Love.
video,
We
literally.
don't. Why are we on the third single already? That's not making sense to
Yeah.
me.
And then technically Wild Side was the first single, so this will be like the fourth, and we've only got one video
Yeah.
since 2021.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
it's just a bit messed up.
I, I caught wind of one of her interviews. I can't remember who it was with. Zach Sang, whatever his name is. Chang, I don't know. And she said something about the issue being with management that delayed her album. So I think she changed management sometime during her signing. And then that kind of messed things up a little bit. So that's what she said. But I don't really know how. And then I also saw she's recorded like over 100 100 songs for the album. So I was like, interesting. I would love
Mm.
to hear like a B-side of songs she didn't want to record. I feel like Normani's like, gives me Sierra T's in a sense that like, she will not like all these songs. And then if you heard them, you'll probably be like, these are all really good songs. And they've chosen the wrong songs to be on the album or wrong singles. So yeah, it's given that
Yeah.
vibe.
So apparently, she was in another interview where I haven't seen it, but Bruce told me that apparently shaded the song "Little Secrets" on the album,
Oh, really?
for me, I'm like, how are you already shading the song that just your album just came out and you're already shading it? It's not really a good look
So,
to like. So
mm.
I don't understand why she. And also, like, it's pop for me anyway. It's one of the best songs on the album. So why? I feel like she's really going against this whole pop thing, which is what I don't like. She's like, can't she lean into both? Like you said, she can lean into both, but it seems like she's proper like trying to push the pop side away. And I don't think that's smart for her anyway. So
Yeah, because I think
yeah,
she leans into pop really well. Being that she was in a pop girl group, I don't know if she has some scars from that, but like she does work well with pop music and she can do both. Like all those songs that she released before she started releasing her own solo music, the collaborations with like Khalid and Sam Smith, Waves, like they were
mm,
very like either they were very pop hinged or they were like alternative R&B, but they had a hinge of pop and they were very successful songs. Like Waves and not Waves. Look what we made me do. Dancing with a Stranger. And what's the song with Khalid? Love Lies. Yes, they were both top tens, like in multiple countries. So it kind of shows that that is probably the direction she maybe should go with.
mm,
And like you said on Motivation, although it wasn't her highest charting single, I think it probably had more of a cultural impact for her as an artist than Wildside did. So
yeah,
like everybody, like you said, was talking about it. It went viral. I think if it had a feature, maybe it would have charted higher. But obviously, Wildside had Cardi B on it, and obviously everyone was like, "Oh my God, stream Wildside!" So all the Cardi B fans were also joining. So yeah, I do think now, on reflection, I do enjoy Wildside, but I think the motivation route was probably the best way for her to go, I think.
especially for her
And then
debut. I
obviously you
think.
can, yeah, and you can do both anyway. Like it doesn't need to be strictly R&B because the songs like "Take My Time" are quite upbeat and catchy as
Mm.
well. I do like that song, and that's like more of a pop tinge song. So it's like, come on, you're doing both, so you might as well continue like throughout the whole project, and it would give us
An
better
album,
moments.
yeah, it's like an album with songs like Candy Paint, Take My Time, Little Secrets, Motivation. Like they would, I think that would have just gone. It would have just been received a lot better. I think, in my opinion. But
Hmm.
we got what we got, and I don't think it's really good. I haven't really heard people speak about it that much, if I'm honest. So
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna chart on numbers. I haven't heard anything about numbers. I heard it did like 2 million on its first day, and then one blog page I followed was like, "You can't let no money flop, guys. Come on." So I don't know. I didn't know that was a bad thing, but apparently that is not that great for one day streams. So we'll
I
see
don't.
how she does, I guess.
I mean, like, so my final thoughts are like, I think I'll go back to the songs I like, but I don't think I'll listen to it as a whole as
Yeah,
much. Like,
same.
I might listen to it a few more times just to get like a general feel of it, but I don't think I will. It's not one of my favorite albums, I wouldn't say. So,
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. The songs I like. And then even if I don't play them, like I don't know if I'll actually go and play most of them anyway. Like I myself add it to a queue kind of thing. I do that a lot with music I like. Like I'll just add it to the queue repeatedly, so it plays like 20 times when I'm in a car or something. But I don't know if it plays in the car, then I'll listen to the songs I like. But other than that, we'll see. The replayability, I don't really see it um for the album, to be honest.
yeah,
Sorry, no
just a few
money.
songs, just a few songs I like. I'll be
Yeah.
definitely playing All Yours All Summer. I tell you that for free because that's my song. And also I'm literally liking Candy Paint a lot more now, so definitely think that
Yeah, same.
we need a video for that. What would you give it out of 10?
Um, I think I gave Thames a seven. I agree with you, 7.5 for Thames. I feel like this album is a little less.
Yeah, it's
I would
definitely
give the
less.
pluses. Yeah, I think I give it 6.5. I think the positives are that it's cohesive in a way. However, some songs she could have just got rid of because they sound too samey. I guess she had a cohesive theme, like a very sultry, sexy R&B kind of thing, mid tempo throughout the whole thing, minus like Candy Paint and then maybe like Take My Time, which is a bit, it's still mid tempo, but it's a bit more bouncy. And I would say I like the fact that there's only 13 songs on the track list, not too long, so it doesn't feel like I'm paining myself to listen to. I've listened to at least like 7, 8, 9, 10 times since the last week. So yeah, so those are positives, but I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 for sure. What about you?
I think I'd actually give it a six. Yeah, six. I think because it's
Mm.
definitely less than Thames. I mean, I'm even struggling to give it a six. If I'm honest.
You want to give it a five real bad.
It's fine. No, I'm not going to give it a five because it is. It's not. I wouldn't say if I give it a five, I feel like that's saying it's a bad album. I don't think it's a bad album. I just don't think it's
Hmm.
the album that I wanted. So I'll give it a low
Yeah,
six.
interesting. Okay, the
So
lower quarter of the
yeah.
sixes. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, that's our review for Normani. I just wanted to talk about one other thing, or two other things. One of them was Tinashe. I feel like we can't go on
I've
without
been a
like speaking
nasty
about the
girl,
success of
nasty. I've been
Yes
a
of
nasty
Nasty. I'm
girl,
very happy
nasty.
for her.
I've been a
And
nasty,
it debuted
nasty,
like within the
nasty.
time we've recorded this. It
Somebody
debuted
get
at
on
number
that
70 and
nasty.
it's due to rise to at least number seven. It's nine, sorry, debuted at number 90 and it's due to rise to number 70 on the charts. Hopefully higher than that. But she's also put out remixes, like sped up versions, Match My Tweak, Match My Freak. Like it's got
Which is
different
pretty cool, yeah.
names.
They're actually kind of cool as well.
Yeah, I like that she's like kind of just been very quick with it, and she's just not wasting time, and she's talking about remixing with other artists as well. And I'm noticing that people are picking up streaming her other songs as a result of this. So I'm hoping that Needs is the next song to go viral because we cannot allow that song to not have the success that it deserves because that is one of the best songs I've heard in the last 2 years for sure. I
I'm
love
so
that song
happy
so
for.
much.
I know
Like,
you do. I know you do. I'm so happy that she's getting the recognition finally. Like even Beyonce posted it. I'm just like,
yeah, on her
my girl,
sacred.
sacred
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
But
the
yeah, I'm just so
hairpin
happy she's finally. And Billboard announced, put it as number 10 on their best pop songs of
for
2024,
summer.
which
Yeah,
is so cool. I'm just happy. I hope that she can this is just not like a one
a
what's the word
one-time thing.
like a not a one moment thing, and I hope that afterwards people still like listen to her music and stuff because I think she really deserves it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
me too. I hope so too. I'm hopeful, definitely hopeful for her. And
thanks so
yeah,
much, Mike. I think that brings us to the end of our Normani review. Guys, make sure you go and give her a stream, no matter what we say. Form your own opinions. I'm sure some people.
Yeah, just support her as well because I guess like she's been. Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you keep liking and subscribing. And you can find us at the Rated Podcast. And I'm at Olivade.
And I'm at CNN.
The pause. We will see you next time. Bye.
Peace. Bye.